Now, whether we like it or not, it is slowly coming to a point where the Chinese car manufacturer is literally closing the bridge between having every possible features, technologies which feels premium, alright, high class, and there's everything, and being relatively cheap. And behind me right here is the perfect example for it, which is the new Omoda C9. Come, let's have a look. Now, at first glance, you'll be forgiven to think that this car costs 300,000-400,000 if you don't know what you're looking at. Because to give you some perspective, right, this car is almost the same size as the Lexus RX 300, but for a fraction of its price. Yeah, this car looks great on the outside, on the inside, and I can't wait to show you everything interesting about this car. Let's go. Now, let me just give you a quick walk around tour around this car because it's quite unique. So this car actually looks way larger in person as compared to videos or photos. And the front, you can see, it actually looks really unique. It's unmistakably C9 because no other car has this design, so you can recognize this car from miles away. So from the front, you can see you have this daytime running light which extends from the side all the way down towards the bottom. You got this horizontal adaptive LED headlights, nicely tied in with this gloss black panel which runs across all the way towards the other end, which basically accentuates the width. So this car actually looks really wide from the front. You got the Omoda word here proudly presented. You got this unique spindle style grille mesh here, which reminds me on the Lexus, alright? And then you can see this one I thought is a vent, but it's actually fake. It's just fake plastic, but it's okay. So color-wise, this car, you have 3 different colors to choose from. Number 1 would be this. So this is a pearlescent white color, which I feel it's nice because it gives a good contrast between all the black color parts, elements around the car. And then you also have gloss black color. And the third option would be a matte gray color, which is the first ever CKD car in Malaysia to be ever offered and matte color option from factory, but the color is only available on the full spec. So this car, you have 2 different specs to choose from. The first will be this one, the 2-wheel drive, which costs 168,800 ringgit. The 4-wheel drive one costs 20,000 more. All right, so you head towards the side, right? This car comes equipped with this massive 20-inch wheels. Yeah, it looks gigantic, right? But it's a very unique design. I always like wheels which have two-tone color. Basically, it's a diamond cut finish with the gloss black elements, all right? And it comes equipped with a very good tire, Michelin E Primacy, which is a very good, quiet and grippy tire, all right? Let's head towards the side. You got this nice design right here. You have cameras below here as well. So this car has 540 degrees camera, guys. You can see the undercarriage of the car as well. Okay, now let's head towards the side here. Just take a look at the length on this car. Okay, then I just love this angle so much. Doesn't this remind you of the Lexus? If I point like this, you would think it's the Lexus RX, right? It's so sporty, the way it actually, it cuts down like this with the spoiler protruding out right here. Okay, this back end here, you see all the crease lines right here. Yeah, it's so aggressive. You also have pop-up door handles. I almost forgotten to mention it. So when you unlock or you go close to it, it detects you, it pops open for you to enter the car. As you head towards the back, you get this full-width LED light bar which runs across from one end all the way towards the other end. Nicely smoked out here. You got the Omoda word here again, and you can see there's a third brake light here, which is a symbol of a pause button. Now, one thing about this car, right, is because the third brake light is positioned so high up, right, is when at night when you press on the brake, right, if you're behind this car, right, it's actually really, really bright. All right, you screen your eyes, but yeah, a lot of China car actually does that now. Okay, so the back here you see is very clean. You have this piece right here that sticks out just to give the car more stance. All right, and then the bottom you have 2 exhaust tips on each side, but obviously these are fixed. So you got one here, it's all fake just for aesthetic purposes. All right, now to pop open the boot, you just press this button here below the O. There's power tailgate. Now once open up, obviously this car reveals a good amount of space here. So you can see you can put a stroller, you can put baby chair in this car, no problem. So this car for long distance journey, you can fit a lot of things inside here as well. You can fold the seats down if you want to for more space. And this car also comes equipped with a spare tire, which is nice because nowadays a lot of car doesn't come with spare tire. All right, so let's just close this back down. So what do you guys think of the exterior, guys? For me, I feel this car actually looks really good from the front, from the side, and from the back. All right, now let's check out the interior. Now to enter the car, right, you just put your keys in a pocket, you walk towards it, it detects you, it pops open the door, all right? But just before we show you the cockpit, let me just show you the back seats first because the back end is actually really comfortable, very spacious, very luxurious. You can see the amount of leg room we have here. And the good thing about the two-wheel drive, I'm not sure if the four-wheel drive actually has it, is you don't have the central tunnel. It's basically flat, so the person who's sitting in the middle, you can sit comfortably as well. The seats are very nice and plush, it's soft, all right? And then the seats are also very well reclined, so for a longer distance journey, it's actually really comfortable. You can fit a baby chair inside here as well, no problem. And then just take a look at the door cut itself. So premium, it feels like Mercedes style, right? Especially you can see you have these speakers here, you have the seating adjustments, you have this ambient lighting, you can see that goes all the way here. Yeah, it looks really premium, right? With the Omoda badging on the side step, there you can see. Right, you have this air vent, you only have one on top here, and then these are all the controls. It looks so premium. And then on top you also have a panoramic sunroof. Yeah, the back end is just lovely. All right, now let's check out the cockpit. Let's open up, just take a look at the design. It looks so premium, right? Right, so you see here, so here you have the lock and unlock button. These are the buttons, toggle switches. All right, then let me just take a seat inside, just inside right here. Yeah, doesn't this car feels more like a 300,000-400,000 ringgit car? Yeah, it just looks so premium. Let me just close the door for the moment. All right, now one thing I noticed, right, is a lot of people who sit inside this car, right, they can't really find where is the handle to open up the door because it's nicely integrated here so that you won't notice. So you just have to push this up, open, just like that, and then it opens up the door. And one thing nice is when you open the door, the seats actually reclines back, okay, and then when you sit inside the car, it goes to a position, which is helpful in terms of egress and egress. Let me just start the car for the moment, foot on the brake, press on the start stop. All right, you can see it's so clear, it's so high definition the screen. All right, you got this full width, all right, display right here that extends from one end all the way towards the other end. And I like how it's not like, you know, the BMW G20, which is rectangular. This one, at least it has a bit of a curvature to it, which is lovely. Okay, so this is the instrumental cluster. Here's the infotainment screen. And this car basically has everything you need inside. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then not only that, you can see, right, if I go to driver assistance, take a look at the amount of safety features you have. You basically have everything inside this car, guys. Yeah, so you don't have to worry. And then for lighting, all right, so this one you can, I don't think you can adjust the light, ambient lighting for this. So you can see the ambient lighting which wraps around all the way until towards here, because this is the two-wheel drive one. Only the four-wheel drives allowed you to choose what color you want, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but the quality and touch and feel, right, these are all soft touch material and it's very solid and sturdy. See, I shake, the center console doesn't move. You got this very tactile style on the, this one is the driving mode. So you can see you have three different driving modes to choose from. You have sport, you have normal, you have eco. Now the four-wheel drive version actually comes with extra 3 more off-road modes, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay, so here nicely carpeted. This is where for you to put your phone, wireless charging. This one you close for a cleaner look. You can see the design also actually looks very premium. Open it up, then you reveals 2 cup holder for you to put your things. You press this button, it pops open, it goes all the way inside. This one also, actually it's nicely chilled, so you can put your drinks inside here. Air actually blows out to cool your drinks. Okay, yeah, the seats all is really nice. The design, you can see all the weave. Yeah, this car really just feels like a 300,000-400,000 car, and the air vent is nicely integrated below as well, all the way here. Yeah, the quality, everything just feels really nice on this car. All right, even as you see here, the steering wheel design, the bottom here part here is floating. You got a flat bottom, right? Then here you got a very nice view on the screen itself. So all the buttons are here. This is for your volume media. This is for your adaptive cruise control. You have pedal shifters as well. And one thing is the bottom here, you can see under here, so you can actually put things inside. So yeah, now it's time to go out for a drive. Alright guys, you now join me driving the Omoda C9. Now my first impressions for this car would be, it's actually very comfortable, very spacious, and it looks very premium. Because the materials they use, yes, despite the top part here, it's all finished in hard leather, right? The rest below, everything is finished in soft touch leather materials. The screen, they're all very high definition, very crisp. The button they use, everything, it's very tactile, all right? And this car, the visibility out on the road also is very good because the car is so high up, right? You get a very good field of vision out on the road, meaning this car, if you take the long distance journey, it's actually very comfortable. Not mentioning about the suspension, because this car also, now this car you have 2 different specs to choose from, remember I said. So this one doesn't come equipped with the CDC, which is the continuous damping control, which basically monitors the road, but without that also it actually rides really well. Okay, so this car is the 2-wheel drive version instead of the 4-wheel drive. Now I know a lot of people would actually go for this one instead of the four-wheel drive one, because the two-wheel drive is actually more than enough. The four-wheel drive, yes, you add few things like, you know, you get a few different more modes for the off-road one, but how often do you actually go off-road? That's one. And four-wheel drive, yes, it may be good in terms of, let's say, you know, it's raining, you get better traction, but it adds up weight. Okay, so in terms of fuel consumption, I would assume it's higher. And then you also get things like, you know, inside you get a spray perfume which automatically shoots out from the AC vent, which, you know, Mercedes style, but that one also is not necessary. So for this price of around 160 plus thousand, you get this. It's really, really good. All right, now in terms of the power, right, this car is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine which produces around 260 horsepower and 400 newton meter of torque, guys. Now to give you some perspective, right, that power figure is very similar to the BMW G20 330i. All right, that car costs what, above 300,000, which is more than half of this car. And this car, you get the same power, but it's a good family car. That car, obviously, because it's low, it's not that comfortable, but this one, you get the power, you get the space, you get the practicality. I think for family road trips, it's the ideal car to actually bring it, because you got a lot of the boot space at the back as well. Alright, this one also, you have all the safety features you actually need in a car. You got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is all you need. And the car, right, is actually surprisingly very quiet. Alright, the sound insulation or sound deadening on this car, it's quite good. You can't really hear the noise outside. So this car, when you're driving, it's actually very pleasant to drive. Now, one thing about China cars, right, like this car, the C9, right, is that for those people who are looking to buy those SUV for around 160,000, right, a lot of people would think of, okay, you know, Mazda CX-5, Honda CR-V or Peugeot. But when they check out this car, right, chances are a lot of people will go for this car, because if you compare the price and also the features of what this car has, right, you can never beat this car, because this car literally has everything you need. Honda, Mazda, Toyota, all those, right, yes, you get the good looks and stuff, but it's not as well equipped as China cars. Yeah, that's the reality we are in right now, because China cars, like I said, they're closing the bridge between having all the features while being very cheap. But one thing about this car is that this car has the driver monitor camera here, which basically always monitors your eyes and face. So let's say when I'm talking on the camera while driving, right, it actually shows that you're being distracted, please focus on the road. So it always chimes, which is kind of annoying sometimes, but it's good actually they do that, because sometimes when you feel tired, alright, it alerts you. And overall, it's a very nice car to drive. You see, this now I'm currently going through this bump. See, I go through the bump, right? You don't feel much on other cars, or let's say my BMW G20, right? Going through this bump, right? You'll be like boom, 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 boom. But this one soaks up the bump really well, okay? So this car, obviously, it's under Jaecoo as well. So Omoda is more of the premium brand. But I remember back then when the Jaecoo J7 first launched, they actually loaned me their car and I filmed a video of it. So that car, I think, has gotten over 100,000 views, which shows how much you guys love the Jaecoo J7, because he has the Range Rover inspired look while being affordable. Right, so that car is much smaller than this car. So if you're looking for a car that is larger, more premium, then this car would definitely be it, because this one is a huge upgrade as compared to the J7. Now for me, right, I think they're actually doing quite well, because I literally see J7s everywhere on the road, which shows that, you know, it's literally value for money, which I always say in the video. Okay, but this car, I assume it'll be lesser because obviously it's more expensive, but it's also value for money if you're looking for a larger size car, alright, that can fit more things, that is more premium, alright, then this car would definitely be it. But one thing about this car, right, is that when you accelerate, right, I think most Chinese cars, so like when you accelerate, it's actually quite loud, you know. When you accelerate, the rev, you can actually hear the engine, you know, it's actually quite loud. That's common for most Chinese cars, I noticed, right? That's one. And the steering wheel, actually, it's kind of floaty, you know. It's not as responsive as other cars right there, but this car is more towards comfort, alright? So it's not supposed to be that responsive, right? But it's actually okay for daily. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So now you guys know everything you need to know about the new Omoda C9. Don't you guys think this car is literally value for money? Because this is literally the perfect all-rounder family SUV that you can get for under 170,000, which gives you the Lexus-inspired looks, the size, and also Mercedes build quality interior. Everything feels very nice to the touch. You have all the technologies, the features inside, especially the safety features. You have everything all ticked, all right? And this car also, it's very comfortable for long distance journey. It's practical, it's quiet, it's spacious. What else do you need, guys, from a car like this? So yeah, I'm really happy that actually Omoda or Jaecoo is coming out cars like this, because so that more people able to afford more of a luxury car for a lower price range. Let me know what your thoughts. Would you consider this car, or would you buy other cars around a similar price? I'm interested to know your thoughts below. So yeah, with that said, if you guys enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, and share with friends, and I shall catch you guys next time.